Good afternoon, everyone. Jason here. Today is September 11th, and I wanted to make a video here with you today to show you the way that we used our order flow tools here today to get into a 14.1 lot ES trade. Now, before I go through the trade here today, we did have a trade yesterday that was very similar. In fact, it was actually a better trade. It was 20 points times 1 lot. Now, in both scenarios, the trade today and the trade yesterday, I was down ticks leading into that trade that ended up pulling me out of the hole on the day. Again, that happens. Sometimes these big reward to risk trades, and today's reward to risk was 7-1. Sometimes these reward to risk trades, you get first trade of the day and you get to reap all the benefits of that very nice trade. But sometimes they are like they were today and yesterday, where you're down ticks trying to get the timing right on a particular move, and then eventually the market kind of does what you were looking at it to try to do. And so what I want to do today is, before I show you the entry and the exit and all that stuff we did in front of the live trade room audience today, I want to spend just a couple of minutes going through the order flow ideas with you. So again, you can see the P&Ls here at the top, and again, as a reminder, the P&Ls are shown live on screen all day, every day in the live day trading chat room. All right. So as we were getting into the open here today, we had one of the order flow ideas that we like to look at. So let me scoot this chart back here so we can see. All right. So what you're looking at here right now is a copy of our market maker levels. These are our levels that we use in here. And again, we call them market maker levels because they were taught to us by a true market maker, someone who traded on the floor of the S&P pits for 30 years. And he used a variation of these levels in his everyday trading. So again, we use these levels in here, and we combine these levels with our order flow tool that we look at. So let me bring this order flow tool over here today and let you look at it. So again, what we're looking at here is a cumulative delta tool. Now I have it on a 1-minute chart. Normally I like to look at it on a 5-minute chart, but I'm looking at it on a 1-minute chart here just so you could kind of see inside of the bars here. So let me get this situated. All right. So this gray shaded area, light blue shaded area, I guess, is what is the overnight session. This first bar here in the deep blue area represents the after the pit open. Now, we have two types of what market maker levels that we look at. The RTH form up right at the open of the RTH session. And of course, we have a set of levels in the overnight session that we look at that has the designation of ETH. And you can see just how the market was kind of bound inside going into the open of those market maker levels there, that structure midpoint. In fact, that represented the high of the day as well. But right after the open here, you had a big sell-off. And so if you look here, there was an immediate push up on the delta. Now, this is a 5-minute chart, and this is a 1-minute delta chart, but I kind of want you to see just kind of how it looked as we were going through it here today. So big sell-off down into about 840. About 840, and then you see here that you had price action begin to rally aggressively here, but the delta was not rallying aggressively, right? So the price was pushing down, right? And there was a big rally up on the initial bar, a thrust here, and then the sellers began to come in, and that's what you saw that drive the market to the downside. Then we got right to our market maker level here. In fact, we got to within 1 tick, and then the market reacted. Now, again, these levels are very strong and they work very well, and that's not a surprise to see an initial reaction off of this RTH signal market maker level. Now, as the market began to rally, you see that that is a big 5-minute candle, right? So we'll go one more time, and you'll see that there was a big push up right here, right? So you'll see that there was this big push. Now, look at the delta. This goes into about 850. Well, this bar's 840 and this bar's 845. You do not see a corresponding aggressive buyers coming in here, right? So this price is being driven up aggressively, but not a lot of follow through behind it, right? So this big push down, which is these two bars here, this push down here was aggressive sellers coming in. There was buying coming in, but not aggressive buying pushing this market up. So we were looking to get short based on this information here. Now, the problem that we had is that this was an aggressive push up, and I took a couple of small stop outs, and you'll see that when you look at the top of the price ladder when I show you the video. You'll see that I'm down ticks on the ES, but the real key here, and let's see if I can put this on this chart here. Let's see, we want, what am I looking for here? I want the rectangle. All right, so right here in this time zone, in this little area right here, okay, corresponds to basically these two bars right here. All right, so this little time here, you had a very aggressive rally, but the delta was not aggressively going with it. So again, for me, that was a clue that the buyers were not really aggressive coming in. Yes, price was moving up aggressively, but the buyers were not stepping in aggressively. So I was looking short at our RTH mid, and then eventually we had this breakdown through it. This is on the 855 bar. So you look back here, this was 855 is right here, right? So the selling began to happen right here at 852, right? So you rally up, the selling began to step in here, and then look what happened here. The market began to aggressively step in. We were short here, and again, we were looking to try to continue that push to the downside, and I get trail stopped up. So this was a very quick trade here, right? We get in here, I'd taken a stop out, trying to get short in this area up here, a couple little quick stop outs trying to get short into this area, and then the delta, because we were noticing that the delta was not aggressively pushing up even though price was, and then the delta began to roll over. We get in here at, I think I'm in at 46.5, and then this comes all the way down to 27.5, and I get trail stopped out on this pullback into just ahead of the ETH session open. And that was really it, right? So that ended up being a 14-point ES trade times one lot. And so if you say 14 times 4, which is the number of ticks, that's 56 ticks times 12.5. That was a $700 ES trade, all identified here based on delta that was not aggressively following price action. The market comes up and the delta begins to roll over here. We get in off our market maker level, and boom, we had a big flush, and then the market started to rally back up again. But we had already taken our 14-point trade, and we ended the day at this level that you see here, right? We ended the day here at positive 33.25, right? That's how we ended the day. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you the trade, show you where we get in. I'll put some music behind it, speed it up, let you see that whole process, and you'll be able to see how we went through and managed that trade today. So without further ado, here is that OTG trade of the day. I'm in at 46.5. And the stop is 48.75.